Hi there, something sweet that I've always thought about since my kids were little. They're now 19 and 21. But when they were little, it used to always break my heart when I was out in the grocery store or at Target or just out in public that I would hear parents, be frustrated or intolerant of their itty bitty child, toddler, throwing a fit or doing the whole drop their body weight and they can't pick them up. Or gosh forbid, I would hear a parent lean into their already unhinged, upset child that, they were gonna smack their mouth if they didn't stop crying, or give the whole 1, 2, 3, you better stop crying. Like, how is that going to help any child calm down? So again, I think we often, unfortunately and fortunately, follow suit with our parents' parenting. And sometimes we have to correct that, or sometimes you need to favor it because it was right. But in any case scenario, no parent's perfect and we all have bad days. But I think a little nugget that I would like to plant a seed of a thought for everyone. There's a way to go about it. And what I have found with my children, and they would both testify and agree, that they were happy with certain ways that my heart would react to help them when they were little. And I would recognize little people don't have power. Little people, as much as they're little and they're children and they need to be, they need guidelines, they need discipline, they need reared in areas to be taught right from wrong, but they also need to be given grace just like we do. They're packed full of emotions. They can't communicate on how they're really feeling as far as if their belly hurts or if they're hungry or tired. We don't know if they slept really well or not. They also are entitled to be humans, just like us adults, to have a bad day and need a little bit more grace some days. So I think the example I would like to share with you is at dinner time. I remember my children, I absolutely remember it was my son around 3 years old, and he wanted a cookie. And the cookie jar was on the top of the refrigerator because it was big and it was glass. And, of course, as a little person, you want to climb up on the counter stool to go get a cookie. So it just eliminated the glass falling or the process of having to ask him to not go try to think about a cookie all day long. Kind of out of sight, out of mind. So I'm making dinner one night and he would like a cookie, and he's doing the wanting to get up to get the cookie. So I believe often parents have the attitude of knock it off. You haven't eaten dinner. You're eating dinner first. No. And they don't hear all of that because they're little people. So it's, I want the cookie. Well, if we stop and realize, just like adults, children want to be heard. So if you take the time to stop everything that you're doing, allow that child to recognize that you see what they want, you hear what they're trying to communicate, and you, for instance, I went over, pulled down the cookie jar, and I'm like, do you want one of these, Brad? And it was a for sure yes. And of course, as a mom, I'm making dinner. Of course, I need him to eat dinner first because that's just, I guess, universally healthy, and maybe sometimes not. But that night, I typically, I did encourage him to eat his dinner first. So I pulled down the cookie jar and I said, is this what you want? And he immediately, kind of calmed down, like, hey, she's on to me. She knows what I want. And so I said, why don't we go get a napkin? So we got this special napkin. And I said, you can pick any cookie you want. We'll put it on this napkin. And then we're going to walk it over and we're going to set it on the counter. And after dinner, you can eat your cookie. So I gave him complete control. He got to get the napkin. He got to pick out his cookie. He saw me put the jar back up on the refrigerator, and not that it was mean. He helped me do it. He saw that I was doing it. It wasn't act out of taking it away or being mean or putting it up so high because he wasn't being good. It was to keep him safe and for him to recognize, even though it's on the refrigerator, he can still communicate with me when he wants one. So he put his special napkin with his special cookie in his special area on the counter, hearing it's his. He can have it. He can touch it. He just can't eat it until after he eats dinner. We eat dinner. We talk about the cookie. Hey, if you can get a few more bites down, you can have that cookie. And then he could eat the cookie. I don't always think it's good to reward with sugar or with cookies, but in this instant, I think it's just trying to explain, rather than shutting a child down or breaking their spirit or yelling or just constantly letting a child hear no, which allows them to feel unheard. And I think children deserve to be heard, deserve to be loved, deserve to be respected. And not only do they deserve it, once you start treating them with love and respect and kindness and patience and allowing them to feel heard, you don't get fits. You don't get, kids dropping to the ground, freaking out and screaming. I believe in my spirit, a lot of those reactions are because they just don't feel like they have a voice. They just don't feel like they're being heard. They feel like it's miscommunication or that someone just doesn't understand them. Well, who likes to not be understood? Like, no one likes that. So to give that foundation to a child and your toddler of all things, that you are patient and kind and want to hear their perspective or what they are actually trying to communicate, and they trust that you're going to talk to them and that they are going to be heard and you're going to work it out with them, whether it's their way or your way. But at the end result, you're both going down the same path and pattern to land the plane for both of you to be happy. There is a universal calm peace that starts lying in between your child and yourself, that you're on the same team. So don't yell, don't threaten to be smacked or count to 3 with a horrible end result. I mean, I think that, honestly, I'm going to say is really ignorant. I mean, when you have someone upset, can you imagine as an adult that you're heartbroken and completely devastated and that you have someone saying, stop crying, 1, 2. I mean, like, that heightens your emotion to unravel because you're not being heard. So every child's different, but I do believe every human is the same underlying soul of needing to be heard and not having your spirit crushed. And someone screaming no at you is never in any case scenario, I guess, unless your toddler's running into the street or running into fire. Maybe that's when it's useful, because you do have to act quickly and startle them, and no is a universal word. But when you have time to explain to your child and allow them to process that you hear them, you love them, and you're on their team, take that time. I can guarantee you, with my own history and with my own testimony with my children, I didn't have to yell, kick, scream, smack, spank, rip things out of their hands. They knew I loved them, respected them, and trusted that they would communicate and I would communicate with them. And therefore, we had a much easier time together and we enjoyed our days together. It was a respect all the way around. So just wanted to share that tidbit, help my motherhood, and it definitely, I believe, helped my children respect me, trust me, and I think trust and respect is what we want from our children. But I do believe we have to start the foundation of it and teach them that we're good and patient and that they deserve some grace just like we do on a bad day. And that's my little 101 Stephanie motherhood tip, or parenthood tip, I suppose. Have a blessed night. And of course, letting your children know God absolutely changes the whole game. God bless you. You're loved. God loves you, and so do I.